Sweet Derek, are we live?
We are live, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Naturals Pod.
Welcome to this episode of the Naturals Pod. As always, I'm Uncle Kyle, respectfully seated across from me. My partner in crime, he's been known to shred on a guitar. He's been known to hit 350-yard drives on a golf course. He's been known to swing an axe like the brawny man himself. Sweet Derek, the producer.
What up, everybody?
What you got for me, Daddy?
Yeah, so today I thought we kind of started off real quick to honor the late Bob Barker. If you heard, he passed away at the age of 99, and figured we could talk about him in a little Happy Gilmore, or if you ever watch Price is Right.
God said, come on down. Yeah, dude, 99, right? 99?
Yeah, 99.
What a legend. He almost made it to triple digits. You know, it's like when somebody's spinning the wheel and it lands on the dollar and then the finger just goes bloop like right past it. He almost did it.
He didn't hit the dollar on the wheel.
He almost made it to the showcase. Now he's in the big showcase in the sky.
Hitting him with them Price is Right topics.
That's like the quintessential game show host, because he had I don't know if you remember the long, thin microphone. It was like pencil thin.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
it had
yeah.
like a small head on top.
I think does Drew Carey, who does the show, does he use the same thing still, I wonder? But yeah, I remember it's like that weird
I haven't watched it. I haven't hardly watched any of the Drew Carey Price is Right. Like, give me the reruns any day.
Yeah, right. It kind of fell off after that. I thought also it wasn't the same, right?
We'll see, like, I love people and men and women with perms, you know, trying to win a new light oak bedroom set. But
what was your favorite game on Price is Right? Did you have like a favorite one? Mine was always Plinko or whatever, with the little beep beep beep
so
thing that you go down. You're
gonna have to look it up. But I can't remember what the game is called, but it had a little like yodeler man in lederhosen, and it would up the hill. And I think the goal was to get it to a certain point without going past or like walking it off a cliff or something. I can't remember what it was called, but it was hilarious. And I don't remember the lederhosen guy's what's got me, nothing else, because I can't remember the name of the game or how you got him to move.
Yeah, it was the little yodeler. I'm forgetting the name of it too, but yeah, you would guess prices, I think, of like a grocery item or something, and then you'd have a certain amount of like how close you are to the price, and then that would take them off the cliff or whatever.
I agree.
I don't even know if they use that one though. I'm not really finding
probably
it. Probably not. I'll have to look through it.
And the fits later, too. You got to throw one up right here. Bob Barker was a man of fashion. Now, I will say he looked like old shoe leather because, you know, tanning beds and 80-plus-year-old skin. I mean, he was an old man when we were kids watching him on Price is Right. He was already an old man, like deep in his 70s.
Yeah, and I still think that scene in Happy Gilmore is just still such a legendary scene when he beats up Adam Sandler.
Great writing, too, because Adam Sandler was like, okay, so here's the thing, Bob. You and I are going to get into a fight with one another. And Bob Barker's like, this guy's a lunatic. And then he goes, but you're essentially going to beat the shit out of me. Like, you will win. The price is wrong, bitch.
The price is wrong, bitch.
I think you've had enough. No? Now you've had enough. Bitch.
Or does he say Bobby? Or does he say bitch?
He says bitch, yeah.
Yeah. TV edited, it's Bobby.
Oh, do they? Is that
like,
what it is?
It's like a bad
I don't think
kung
I've heard
fu
that.
film where his
That's
mouth
funny.
definitely says bitch, but the audio's Bobby.
All right, well, sticking on the entertainment theme after giving a shout-out to the late Bob Barker, I thought I'd bring up the major controversy is the Snow White live-action movie controversy on Disney. Have you heard anything about this there, Uncle Kyle?
I think I saw an article, but people were losing their minds over the I know their last name is Bailey, and there's two of them. It's either Zoe or Chloe. I can't remember which one did The Little Mermaid, but people were losing their minds about that. Honestly, for me, nostalgic, the old Disney movies, I have no interest in the live action stuff. Like the old cartoons were the shit, and the people who voice acted them, like, you're never going to forget Robin Williams doing the genie in Aladdin. Incredible.
Yeah, that movie's phenomenal. I would
A
actually
whole new
argue.
world.
I would argue that almost every live action movie of Disney's come out. I haven't even watched them all because they're just all bad. They're so bad. They're not even good. And it's funny because it's like Disney. We can't create a new story. We can't come up with something new. We're just gonna keep revamping the same shit.
I mean, they're not really meant to be live action. Like the character, it's like the Hercules. I think it was called Hercules, the movie, and it had Hades and a couple of the other characters, you know, and they're all crazy looking. Like he had like blue fire for hair. Like it just doesn't translate to live action. I don't know if that makes sense, but like to me, it doesn't. It needs to be a cartoon. It's more fun and it's just better that way. It has better flow. Like that's the way it's supposed to be, in my mind. Not that I'm hating on them. I know there's a lot of people that really love the Disney movies and are excited for these live action ones and watch them. I think Disney's kind of taking a bath on these, though, honestly, right? Like, they are losing money. They're hemorrhaging.
Losing
Bad.
tons of money, dude. And they actually, so I'm going to get into this a little bit more and why this bothers me and why you'll start to get really, this is going to be cringe for you as well if you haven't got into it. But they've been eating a lot of money on it. The stock's been plummeting. And I think a lot of people are just tired of the whole kind of over the top progressive and woke kind of stuff that Disney's doing too. It's like nobody asked for this, man. Like just make a good story. Like we're not judging a movie off that shit. That you're talking to like the 1% of the 1% of like stupid people on Twitter or whatnot, you know?
Well, I think it goes both ways. It's like people complaining about or people were hating on that Chris Pratt show that's on Prime, The Terminal List. Condor loves it. Apparently it's adapted from a series of books. But I guess a bunch of people took issue in saying that, you know, TV is whitewashed and it's all these white male characters, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But it's like he played the character really well. Like I don't know how people in the special operations community feel, but I've met a few people that were Army Rangers or people that actually like were door kickers and went and did shit. I mean, shout out to the regular boots on the ground troops. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. Like if you were somebody who was deployed in Iraq or Afghanistan or Vietnam, World War II, you know, like I said, I'm not trying to hate on anybody. I'm just saying that they're the people that do like the Navy SEAL shit, aka Navy SEALs, and then there's the Green Berets. The Marines also have different special operators. I'm going to come off like a fucking idiot. Somebody's going to flame me in the comments, which is fine. I mean, correct me. I want to be correct in what I'm saying. But anyways, like there's like levels to that shit. Those are the guys that went and killed Osama bin Laden. Like they have a certain swagger and a way that they behave, and I feel like he portrayed that really well.
Yeah, I think most people were just weren't mad people at Chris Pratt just because of the religious thing too, like because
I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I think he made kind of a comment about like the homosexual thing and stuff like that.
That I did not read, which it very well could have happened, but yeah. that and then you know him and Anna Faris were married, and he kicked her to the curb, and I guess they have a young son with.
Autism, I think, or something like
possibly,
that, right?
Possibly, or Down syndrome. I'm not sure. Once again, not trying to
yeah.
disrespect anybody. I just don't know the specifics. But essentially, I believe on Mother's Day, he did this whole huge Instagram post, which honestly, people, let me just say something. The internet stroking of one another is fine, but if you really want to tell somebody how you feel about them, go and look them in the fucking eye and say it. Like, do it live. Like, the internet shit is meaningless. It's very nice, like, to pay tribute to your friends and your family and say nice things about them and show the world that this is someone that you love and care about. I understand that side, but I feel like a lot of it is just really, like, lip service. And if you feel the need to tell someone they're important, go do it to their face. Go do it to their face.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, too, is it's sometimes it feels like it's not so, like, meaningful. You know what I mean? Because it's just... I don't know. Things should be more private too. You know what I mean?
But the celebrities do it because I think
they want the attention.
Well, not even necessarily that. I think it feels like it humanizes them a bit and makes people feel more familiar with them and like they're cool and not some rich asshole. Which I'm not implying that all actors and celebrities are rich assholes. Just most of them are. But anyways, he did a post with his new wife. Oh God, and her name just escaped my brain, but it's like she's like a Kennedy. She's someone. She's the daughter of someone who is important. But anyways, they have also had a child. I believe they had a daughter, and he was just, oh, thank you for our sweet angel and all this stuff, and really didn't make any mention of his son. And people tore his ass up over that. Which honestly, admittedly, that is a misstep. Like you don't have to go, oh, I love you, Anna Faris, but like you guys have, excuse me, a kid together. Leave it in. You should also, you know. I don't know. I feel like he did kind of step in shit, but also I feel like he meant well, and it wasn't like an intentional omission to shit on his other ex-wife and child.
He actually seems like a pretty good guy. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I'd say he comes off better than most actors. But his wife, believe it, is Catherine Schwarzenegger, dude. The daughter of Arnold
there we go. I mean,
Schwarzenegger.
he was
Yeah.
a governor, so
Yeah.
I was partially right. Which, man, what a fucking... I gotta say, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger has inspired many men, which is great. But I gotta say, some of his little personal sexual picadillos, like knocking up the housekeeper or nanny or something, it's like, come on, Arnie.
Yeah, and I'm not
dog,
trying to
that's
be
fucked
judgmental,
up.
but when you're his level too, also like, have you seen what she looks like? It's like, dude, that's what you chose to cheat on your wife
I
and
didn't
ruin
dig
your
that deep
relationship,
into it.
dude.
For me, it's just kind of like,
Well, then
I
gotta
thought
show
you were going
this.
a different direction
I
there,
gotta show you
because what
this.
I was going to say is, when you are someone that's that famous, wouldn't you think that you wouldn't do shit like that? Because the likelihood of you getting caught doing it is so much more. Like me, I'm fucking nobody. I could hypothetically have a wife and go have a whole other relationship and do all this shit, and really, unless someone who knows me sees me out, and even then they're not gonna like do detective work like paparazzi or some shit, you know, nobody gives a fuck. I'm doing my own thing. I mean, I'm being kind of a scumbag in this hypothetical situation, but also whatever. Like, but yeah, Arnie's kind of a dirtbag for that. But that's the kind of thing that just kills me, is like some people, regular people, do shit like that, and it's like a shame that lives with them. Like they move out of state and cut off contact with a whole group of people. When you're a celebrity, it's news. This is how fast the 24-hour news cycle is, all in our fucking faces at all time. It just comes and goes immediately, and nobody remembers it because there's so much shit they're throwing at you. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
it's pretty
ridiculous.
crazy. But this is the housekeeper. But the thing that made it worse is because he had a kid, dude. He has a kid with her as well.
That's what I was saying.
So
They
that's
they
insane.
had
That's
a baby.
insane. Yeah, no,
is that her top right there?
Yeah, dude. And then this is like a more current picture as well. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, Derek. You be the judge, people.
Yeah, I
Just-
guess it's
I mean,
more
there
the
might
thrill,
be
probably.
some women that I find extremely fuckable, and you would not agree. You know, we're all men. The Margot Robbie thing, although you and everybody else takes it way too far. I was just simply stating she's not, oh my god, hot to me.
You're still over it.
An
That's
attractive
funny.
woman, yes. A talented woman,
No, she's
clearly.
she's a dime.
A
bro.
rich woman,
I stand by it. She's a dime.
definitely. But for me, not hot. Not hot.
So, anyways, getting back to Snow White, I just kind of wanted to dive into that a little bit. Yeah,
We took a turn.
We should.
We took a turn. We went on a journey, and now we're back.
I just want to talk
Hit
about
me.
like just how you feel about this and just how they're ruining movies. And this has actually caused Disney to push it back. Is the actress who's playing Snow White? Her name is Rachel Zegler, and she states basically as quote that she's only admitted to seeing the original once because it scared her, Uncle Kyle. Because she said it scared her. And she said that the prince in Snow White was a stalker, and that they're not going to do that this time. There's not going to be a stalker or a prince that's going to sweep a woman off their feet.
That's not the first time I've heard that, saying that essentially here's the thing. Look at all these movies. You can't tell me, oh, they're just going to murder me for this. You can't tell me woman power doesn't exist. The majority of the leads in Disney movies are princesses, or it's a woman. They are the main character. The side guy is the fucking Ken to the Barbie. Like, he is literally a prop, like not a huge part of the story other than being the love interest and the reason Ariel wants to be a human and the reason Snow White wakes up from a deep, deep slumber. Aren't they using Peter Dinklage as all of the dwarf characters? Wasn't there a big issue with that?
No, so that was actually one of the things that I was going to get into next is that the dwarves aren't even played by real dwarves, Kyle. That Peter Dinklage was just upset that they're not giving opportunity to dwarf actors.
I think that's what I read, and I wholeheartedly agree. All to that matter, this is just a blanket statement with dwarves or with roles with people who are trans, because I read an article that there's a lot of people that are upset that trans people aren't playing trans characters. Absolutely. Make it as authentic as possible. I wholeheartedly agree on that. I 100% agree. And yeah, that's fucked. Like, they basically shrunk them down. It was like the elves in the movie Elf with Will Ferrell. Great Christmas movie. Everybody loves that. Tell me you don't love that movie, Derek.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's a great.
Everybody
movie.
loves that movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. Shout out Will Ferrell. They just like they Honey I Shrunk the Kids people, like they didn't really look elf like. And once again, man, I'm being really like sensitive that, you know what? Don't be offended by this shit. Just hear it for what it is and just know it is coming from a neutral informational place. Elves, I would say, would look like little people, which I believe is the preferred nomenclature.
Yes, you're good on that. Yep.
I have also seen videos where some actors and little people of note have even said they don't mind being called dwarves. Obviously, if you're not being an asshole and going, "Look at you, you little dwarf," and you're just referencing them in a very non-emotional way, they probably aren't going to take offense to that. But those look like the same thing. It literally looks like they took regular people and miniaturized them. So I am 100% on board with that. Shout out to, I got to say also with the SAG after strike being a union man, shout out to you guys. Hold the fucking line. And for those bigwigs, what's her name? Selena Gomez. She has that show Only Murders in the Building. She got flamed because she did an Instagram post promoting it. And I guess a bunch of people were like, "Hey, dummy, we're on a picket line right now. Like, we are trying to get these people to take better care of us. Like, you are essentially crossing the line by doing that." And she took it down. Well, all of you big actors that don't, the Wahlbergs, the Rocks, the Vin Diesels, all you motherfuckers that are rich beyond compare need to get in there. This is the time where you show that you're about it.
Well,
you
that's
need to
the
get
problem.
in there and be active and be on the side of people, because there are working actors that are not rich, and these are the people that would benefit from the reason they are having a strike, and to that point, the writers having a strike, the CGI engineers, whatever your official title is, they're trying to unionize because they're getting fucked. They're getting worked into the ground for pennies. And while the company makes millions of dollars, or when they lose millions of dollars, they write it off and it doesn't matter anyway. So fuck them. I'm 100% on board with all of that. Yes. Yes. Agreed. Yes. Yes.
The problem, though, is a lot of the bad actors aren't following suit like that, though, Kyle. It wasn't even just Selena Gomez. Like, even the Bar movie, some of these actors are just like, "No, I'm going to still promote my movie because we dropped millions of dollars on it, and I still need to make my millions." And that is the problem.
Do you want to know why that's happening, Derek? Because the people that are richer than them, that have really elevated them to a certain level, called them and said, "Hey, fuck them who are striking. You belong to us. You have a obligation to us, whatever that may be." Illuminati shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the power from the money
society.
up top.
But essentially, there are people that could call them and be like, "No, you're going to do what we tell you to do. You're going to promote that movie." Like Tom Cruise, I don't know. Has he been on the picket line? Look that up before I just randomly slander him. I just feel like he's probably not a big union guy.
I don't think Tom Cruise was a part of that, the stalking line. No, and I haven't seen any news that he's been a part of it. No,
I've seen articles where there were some big name actors. I would consider them big name actors who are actually out walking the picket line and are actively participating on behalf of the SAG-AFTRA members, which good for them. I believe, at least within my union, and if any of them see this and you disagree with me, we can have a discussion. We have a pretty weak one here. We are dependent upon the strip, and I feel like a lot of concessions are made in the guise of keep you working, when really it is the companies have you by the balls and they're telling you what to do, which defeats the whole fucking purpose of being in a union. Thank you for attending my TED Talk.
But yeah, just basically the backlash just to Snow White I just thought was interesting, and it's mainly because even the actress says she's not a fan of the original, so you have all the Disney fanatics and everyone that kind of
most of those,
got
but
really
see
upset at
that
that
doesn't really bother me. That doesn't really bother me. For the people that are passionate about Disney, I understand why it bothers you. That doesn't bother me because that's a tale as old as time. The guy who plays one of my favorite characters from a book series that I read, the Jack Reacher book series by Lee Child. Shout out Lee Child. Love the books. Alan Richson, he is this huge, giant, white, blonde dude. Like, he's an intimidating looking motherfucker. He is on the most recent Fast and the Furious video, and he said to Vin Diesel, the guy who owns the franchise, yeah, I've never watched any of the movies. And then he quickly said he binged all of them and is like, I'm a huge fan. I love the movies. And if you were getting paid X amount of dollars by Vin Diesel, you would do the same. Don't lie. Don't lie to me. You do the same.
Yeah, I think anybody would, but that's pretty funny. He's like, I haven't seen any of them.
It's just a strange, it's a strange thing to admit. Just don't even mention it. Are you a fan of the movie? Are you a fan of the original? Huge fan. Love it. Great. I'm so excited to play this part. It's an honor. That's it. Done. Done. You're done. And if they really want to press you, then just do the thing that celebrities do and just ignore the question and just walk away from them, which is acceptable behavior in that community. You have to be a really self-deprecating person to be a paparazzi, because people hate telephone marketers, door-to-door solar salesmen, Jehovah's Witnesses. I edit the Jehovah's Witnesses out.
Why?
Clip that. Or fuck it, leave it in. Whatever. Jehovah Jireh.
But you know what's weird about those
But
two?
I'm saying they're just like, they're universally hated people. And the celebrities just shit on them. The other ones are the ambulance chasers. Have you seen that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, Nightcrawler?
I have, yeah.
Great movie.
I thought that was an amazing movie, though. That was a great film, yeah.
I don't know. I don't like Jake Gyllenhaal's face, but I really love some of the movies.
What do you
he's
mean
been in.
you don't like his
I don't
face?
like his
What's
face.
wrong with his face?
On one of those celebrity mean tweets that's I think is on Late Night Jimmy Fallon or something, or Jimmy Kimmel, one of those.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy
I think,
Kimmel,
yeah.
shout out, or actually no, fuck you, Jimmy Kimmel. Anyways, somebody tweeted at Jake Gyllenhaal that he has a punchable, sad pug dog face, and I couldn't. You'll have to pull that up, the quote or the little video clip right here. Bang.
Jake Gyllenhaal has the most punchable face of all time. I'd like nothing more than to sock him in his ugly, soft, starry-eyed pug face.
Hilarious, and I couldn't agree more. But Nightcrawler, those guys who essentially show up on accident. I don't know how prevalent those people, freelance videographers, are anymore, for that at least. Especially when the news is just lazy as fuck and they find somebody that posted it on Instagram and they take the video and they don't have to pay them or nothing. People are doing the work for them.
Yeah, that's the funny part. They probably made that job obsolete with that because they just get all their shit from social
Absolutely.
media now. And you can
All
see in the
day.
comments all the time, hey, I'm blank, blank, blank from Channel 5's News in Minnesota. Can I use your video?
Yeah,
and people
it's
just
sad
go,
how
yes.
lazy
You know?
they are.
Yeah.
You're lazy. But yeah, that movie was dark. And then if have you ever seen Enemy?
Yeah, I believe I've seen that as well. I've seen pretty much all his movies.
Ooh.
So
We might have to do an Enemy movie review. For people who haven't seen this movie, it is disturbing. You will, and this is not like a violent or gory or like crazy movie. It will make you feel uncomfortable the entire time you're watching it, but you will. It's intriguing. It draws you in. Jake Gyllenhaal, Enemy. Check it out on Uncle Kyle's recommendation. Put it right there, Derek. Enemy. Watch it.
Boom.
Boom. Me and Chris watched that. Okay, funny sidebar. Me and Chris watched that I went to his house when he was living in San Jose because living in San Francisco is insanely more expensive. But he had this really nice house. And I went out there on 4th of July. This had to have been, 7 or 8 years ago. So he had some marijuana chocolates, and we were just hanging out, playing video games, and I saw it in the fridge, and I was like, hey, man, is this a weed chocolate? And he said, yes, it is. And I was like, I'm going to hit one of these. I had not consumed marijuana in quite a while, and I felt like I was melting into his couch. Like it was, and coupled with watching Enemy, there's a challenge. Take some edibles, watch Enemy, and let's talk about it afterwards. You could be on the pod. That's like an automatic guest spot if you really want to.
Yeah, we'll have to have them send in emails or comments on people that if they've done we'll call it the Enemy Challenge, dude.
The Enemy. We'll come up with a clever name for that. Get back to us. If I think of something before the end of this pod, then I'll throw it out there. But that you got to have a clever name.
So how did you do through the movie then? Get more into that. I'm interested, dude. So you're melting in the couch. You're turning on that movie. What did you feel?
Do you remember how it ends? How the end is?
I don't remember that fresh
Okay,
in my
so
mind,
so
no.
this movie hasn't throughout. It just has really like crazy surreal shit going on, and it mind fucks you. It does. It's weird. I can't explain it. You have to watch it to understand what I'm talking about. And I swear, I would love to have like a round table about this, or just have anyone chime in, and because it's inexplicable. Chris can attest to this. Maybe when we do the pod in Joshua Tree, we're going to Joshua Tree for my birthday. We're doing a little remote pod, so look out for that in November. So that's a little ways away. But we might have to talk about this then, because I know Chris will remember watching this, because we were both, I mean, I was melting in the couch, but Chris was sitting forward like this, and he was like on the edge of the couch with his hands folded, just staring at the TV. And I'm just like high as a kite, melting into the couch, and I'm like, this movie's hella weird. And I'm like, damn, Chris looks concerned. Like, it's like he's watching the news and they're saying that a category 12,000 hurricane is rocketing directly at us, and we're doomed. Concerned. He was very concerned.
Independence Day, dude. Aliens are flying over your property and they're taking over the world.
I think, yeah, pretty much. I think I tried to get him to do it, and he was like, no, I'm not doing that shit. So, boo.
So anyways, man, just to kind of wrap it up, so live action Disney movies then, you would say that's a no-go, and you are not going to be watching the new Snow White?
No, not for me. And like I said, for the people that enjoy that, I hope it's good for you. I think some of the liberties that Disney has taken, and I feel like in the most, I'm saying this in the most non-hateful way, I feel like Disney is trying to appease certain groups of people or appear to be friendly towards certain groups of people. And I think you just need to they have been doing it clearly, but you need to make new content. Like, don't change things that people are accustomed to, as long as it's not hurting anybody. You know what I'm saying? But also, it doesn't upset me. I just won't watch them. I don't trust me, unless I have some children, I probably will not be watching the cartoon ones again. But those are fond memories. Those are core memories from my childhood. Me, my sister, and my parents, we would watch Disney movies, and it's fun, happy, good, feely times, and it's the most innocent thing in the world to just enjoy a Disney cartoon movie with your family.
Well, I mean, it's kind of sad, though, is I almost would go as far as Disney's almost ruining all the movies that I love. Like, I would argue
I don't agree with that.
You don't think Marvel's fallen off a cliff, dude? Those movies have fallen off a cliff.
It has, but it doesn't make me dislike the parts that I did enjoy. It doesn't
like the Star Wars and stuff.
It doesn't ruin it for me. I was never a big Star Wars guy. The Condor is, and I think you are into Star Wars as well.
I am as well. That's why I'm upset as a fan.
Once again, I get that.
Up.
I get that. There are certain things that I'm going to be self-righteous about and be upset about because I'm a fan of certain things. So I totally understand that. What are you going to do? If you had a magic wand, you can control the world, but you don't. So you're stuck here with me.
Yeah,
how we doing?
That's why I just don't usually watch that stuff anymore. But it's just a shame, because there's a lot of movies I enjoyed. They've fallen off.
That's all. Just the whole ethos of society, and we want things now, and it's like we said in the movie review. They're ruining movies by putting too much in the trailer. They're trying to do too much crazy over-the-top shit instead of selling a simple story and writing and shooting it really well. It doesn't have to be an insane explosion every time. Just do something that's nice and is good, and you're like, I'm proud of this. I put a lot of work into this. Everything is really well done. You'll enjoy it.
Well, aren't you would you argue that you're like me, that you're just tired of the regurgitated same bullshit, though? I'm just tired of the remakes, dude.
I am.
And the sequels. It's like, come up with something new.
Derek,
you know?
literally, unless you and I go see a movie, or we're talking about old movies, or you're telling me about a movie that you happen to watch on Netflix or Amazon or whatever, I pretty much just go back and watch shit that I've already watched. Shows, movies. I dabble in new things, but I agree with you. There is something about it, just to a lot of the newer shit, where I'm just like, I'm not interested in this. You do not have me.
And I wonder why they do that, because I can't imagine that there isn't people writing great new idea films. Do you think the money just got to be too much into the superhero shit at this point, that they just won't let it go, right? And they just won't finance other movies, because it just seems crazy to not.
We're gonna put the tinfoil hat on right at the ass end of the pod. We're doing this. Boom. The media, movies, television shows. If people with a high viewer count on YouTube, if you feel like in society there are people who aren't trying to manipulate you, then you're a fool. I know I'm being manipulated. It's just how you react to it, whether you give in or recognize it for what it is, that is on you. But that's society now. Society is manipulation, power, money, getting money, giving other people money so they do shit for you. It's a tale as old as time. It's been around forever, and it's just getting worse now because we have the ability to communicate across the world instantaneously and transmit, share, click, like, link, punch, fuck, instantly. Right now. You get it right now. But no, I mean, to round it out, I don't watch Disney anymore. I'm not a child, so.
Oh, shots fired.
If it upsets you, I feel bad for you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna lob some snack on the way out. If you're okay, and I know people like this. If you're the only pass you're gonna get is if you have a child, and as far as I'm concerned, that's a beard, that's a mask that you get to use to live out your fanciful little baby life. If you are in your deep 20s, 30s, beyond, and you have a season pass to Disneyland and you regularly travel, I don't give a fuck if you live in California. I don't care if you live right down the street from the park. If you are buying a season pass and going to Disneyland multiple times throughout the year as a grown adult with no children, why?
Dude, my aunt, man. My
Why?
aunt and her roommate, they live in Florida. They moved to Florida because they're hardcore Disney World, dude. They just want to go to, they like going to the park.
I can understand.
I guess.
I can understand that it makes you happy, but going back to what I just said, you're being fucking manipulated. They have you hook, line, and sinker. Jesus. But if you're happy, then be happy. Look at me. I'm fucking miserable, and I'm living in the truth. You don't want to be like this. Or maybe you do. But anyways, in closing, have some fucking solidarity, okay? Take care of people that have the same interests as you. If you're a member of a union, act accordingly. Don't cross picket lines. Take care of your brothers and sisters and work hard. And most importantly, always ask for more money. Get the raise. Go for the bag, people. We work to live, so we might as well make a decent wage. Am I right? Am I right, sweet Derek? Am I right?
I agree, man. The money needs to trickle down more, dude. It's too much at the top.
Give it to us. Let's be a little more comfy. I don't want to be rich.
Not rich, just comfortable, man. No. Yeah, but
I'm comfy. Look at me in this chair. Anyways, thanks for stopping in, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, Natty Nation. Let's go. Thank
you for listening to this episode of the Naturals Pod. Please remember to follow us on your Twitter and Instagram accounts at The Naturals Pod. Do you have what it takes to join the Natty Nation? Like and subscribe to find out.